Okay, so hello everybody. We have got our erstwhile Mr. Kushal Sanghvi with us on a free-flowing conversation. I've known Kushal for how many years? 25 years? 25 years. I remember him as a very young boy coming to meet me to sell digital. I think I keep telling him also, he's one of the first digital guy that probably I ever interacted with or transacted with. So it's always a pleasure to kind of converse with him on social network, and also meet him in person is better. So thank you, Kushal, for talking to us. That's Pooja, my friend,
Hi,
my
Kushal.
colleague with me here.
Hi.
And Pooja is like the current digital wizard.
It's like
I would call her that.
emerging, I would
Emerging.
say.
So Kushal,
Awesome.
yes. So Kushal, one question. I'm old. We are getting older, but if we really have to kind of compare to the life that we had in the digital world to the life that we have now in the digital world, how would you kind of really define it?
I think we're living two lives, one in the physical world, one in the digital world. But I tell almost everyone that I think if you're able to not live two lives and just live one life, it's far more easier. And that's the mental makeup which we must all take as well, because you can't have two compartments.
Yeah.
What we do, what we work for, as well as what we kind of put up on social, if it's all seemingly the same, then it makes more ease for us as people as well. I think just because with all the filters happening in the new world now, we sort of try and put that different image on Insta, on somewhere else, and pretty much all that as well. And I think especially with a lot of the new Gen A and the Gen Z of the world, they are crazily living three lives. So I would just say that yes, try and live one life. But yes, digital is, to answer your question, Mona, it's sort of what was 25 years back, what it is today is a world change of a difference.
I think we all had to move on, and not live in nostalgia. So I keep telling myself also, forget about what journey we have kind of lived. Life currently is very different to what it was earlier. So if you're able to adapt to the change, I think you have a life ahead. And it's interesting life ahead, because
Absolutely.
the learning never goes away.
Sure.
Any learning, any knowledge is always kind of good.
Yeah.
Pooja, you have any question for Kushal?
Yes. So I heard from Mona that you are actively working on influencers and influencer marketing per se. So one, definitely, I think marketeers are scratching their heads around how to basically bring some science to it, like which influencer to go for, and we all can buy, and everybody, it's just like, I would say, hard truth that the followers, we just cannot believe on the engagement that comes as a number. So we have to deep dive into what kind of audience basically the influencer has, which nobody would know unless, because again, it's a digital world. And to add to that, the person itself, say for my personality in physical world, is very different from the digital world. So digital reality is entirely different. Maybe my digital consumption is very similar to an 80-year-old digital person who's consuming digital, and vice versa. So how you think this can change, or how we can bring some science to just certain parameters you think that is extremely important when marketeers are looking at choosing influences for their brands?
I think very valid, thought, and that's the reason why we sort of, making a fair amount of investment where I am in this new organization as well, that we've created our own tool.
All right.
So it's again AI based, and it has closer to about 1 million people up there. So right from Virat Kohli to someone else, to someone even who's got micro influencers as well, all mentioned out there. It's vertically sort of created as well. So you're looking for someone who's a travel blogger, food, something else. You sort of real time getting of his or her posts. You're seeing the engagement, you're seeing what can be working, and pretty much all that as well. So one is, it's that sort of level of what I would call as sort of intelligence to use or who to work with. But the second is, having sort of said that, the fact still is, in the influencer world, it's also got to do with what creative communication is.
Sure.
So good piece of content works only when you are able to emote with consumers again.
Sure.
And it's not just a great influencer with, say, 5 million people following him, but what he or she is talking really, right? And which is why then we'll end up buying that product or service or whatever as well. So there's a bit of a science to the whole madness as well. This industry itself is now almost about 9,500 crores of money spent last year alone in India, which is going to be perhaps 17% growth predicted for 2025.
Great.
So it's already far bigger. If you just look at this piece, this is bigger than radio, or bigger
Absolutely.
than,
Any
outdoor
other medium, yes. Yes.
itself. And this is just one element of digital marketing still, imagine.
Right, right.
And, as all of us, I think today, because we sort of, are continually on various feeds, just scrolling up and down and some stuff, we somehow do stop when we see some piece of good content from someone that we follow.
Right.
Now, that person we follow could be a politician, could be an actress, could be someone else, could be even your neighbor. You don't know, but you don't realize, but he's in your own society. But he's this 24-year-old big influencer talking about something as well. So yeah, and I think all of us have somewhere, either it is FOMO or the fact that because of social media, we all think that we are voyeurs. We have an opinion. We speak about something and we put it out blatantly, and we expect people that this is what I feel, and everyone should respect that as well.
True.
Which is why this whole influencer thesis really come around, becoming bigger and bigger, because everyone's got a chain of thought, everyone's got something else, and you'll have 5 people who will stand with you,
Right.
and you'll have 5 who will stand completely.
Absolutely.
And we've seen what
Yeah.
happened
Right.
as an outage.
That's
just only 2 weeks ago. We've
absolutely
seen what flared up as well.
unfortunate, yes, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in a particular session the other day, and somebody, very senior corporate person, he said, that when you're putting a post, don't expect, what happens is when the moment you put a post or a point of view or anything that you probably have learned and you want to share with people, you also kind of try to see how many people have acknowledged it, how many have shared it, how many, he says, don't expect that at all.
Absolutely.
Because the moment you do that, then you're not really being a spontaneous self, You have to put it there because you want to kind of share a point of view which you believe other people probably should gain from it. So that should be the sentiment of, doing that. I thought that was a good thought. So I've stopped looking at the likes and the comments coming in.
But
That's
as
fine.
follower,
Yeah.
how do we get into, say, for influencer post something abrupt, very like Ranbir, of course, when we are talking
Yeah.
about it. So suddenly one show has changed his entire life, his
Life,
entire
yeah.
fan following. So now the brands are pulling their endorsements from him. So how do we see this chain and disrupting or probably affecting the entire, say, for marketing, influencer marketing? So say for you, so you cannot plan anything in advance, right?
It's not predictable how they'll behave.
So if
yeah.
you plan something, okay, I'll go with Ranveer, say for 2 months, you just cannot do that because any day, any moment, anything can
Anything can
happen.
change, yeah.
So how do we deal with such agility in the market? So
I think that's the whole thing today, that it's not just about influencer. The thing is today, just for digital marketing, it has to be on the go, thought of, and what we've been hearing this morning as well, it's all driven through. Gone are the days that you could sort of say, I'll do a AOP and I'll plan, I'll do like great amount of thinking for 2 months. I think
Yes.
marketing has really become much more sort of, I wouldn't say tactical, but the fact is it's just the agility that the word you used. It's about sort of someone saying something in the boardroom in the morning and say, hey, let's enact and let's put that piece of communication tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, then it could be tomorrow morning put up on outdoor, if for example can be done, or could be putting it up on television,
Right.
or what have you.
Right.
It's just that because the fact is we think agility means digital, but today if you ask me, a piece of content could very
In every
well
which way,
in
yeah.
any which way as well. And I think given the landscape of India, I'm a firm believer, despite the fact that I'm passionate about digital, I think we'll always be having a veracity of mediums always. Yeah, because we always see, I think, India myopically from Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore.
Yeah.
But there is a trade sort of, just think about what happened, just literally sort of got over like last week.
Yeah.
45 days, 4,000 crores spent on Mahakumbh. In our life, we've not seen
Gosh.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And there was no planning there, right?
The biggest
But
event they probably
the
could have thought
PepsiCos
of.
and the GSKs and
Everybody
Unilevers
was
and
there.
Kotak Banks and
Yeah.
everyone spent money.
And that's
A very
physical
small
school.
brand, if I send me
that's
a video,
yeah.
of their presence in Kumbh, and people have done some really great innovations. I think the Lifebuoy thing is very, very interesting.
Lifebuoy was
But it's
superb.
It stands out.
Correct,
People have
correct.
really kind of used it very, very well. I think the whole campaign has been built around Kumbh. It's always been
Yes.
looked at as very, and good thought for FMCG to do that.
No,
anyway.
I think I think it's a lot of, therefore what takes out from all of these things, Mona, is the fact that I think this was what we would have called 20 years back saying experiential marketing, rural
Yes.
marketing. But it's almost now, I'm sure, if there's even a smaller Kumbh or something else which will happen, people will start planning for it.
Yes.
Right.
Thinking about it and some
Yes.
stuff. And more we're going to see a lot of these trends break out,
Yeah.
saying, you know what, let's not go on to those days when you could say, you know what, IPL aa raha hai, and let's plan, that
Ahead.
thing is
Yes,
gone and done and dusted
yeah.
with.
Yeah.
It's always
So you'll still
now.
have legacy, not say that you'll have legacy companies who still do it because they want to do it, but the new age, nimble, younger
Yes.
brands are going to be on the fly, picking up new opportunities,
All right.
doing
And
things
thinking
to
on the
clutter
spot
break.
sometimes,
Yeah.
just doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. So thank you so much.
No,
Kushal.
this was
always
super
a pleasure.
fun.
Always a pleasure.
Yes.
Talking to you. And
Yes,
let's
yes.
keep connected.
Yes,
Yes.
and
we
good
hope
luck
to see
with
you in our office, by the way.
good luck
next
with
time.
what you guys are sort of doing. I'm happy to sort of kind of know little more in terms of what you guys are sort of really pushing for, I think, in this industry as well. And I think it's so great
Yeah.
to see, I think, the different spaces of people coming together, different ages of people coming together, and I
Yes.
think therefore which makes such, I think, startups, I think, going to be even more successful.
Right.
Clearly with the experience, with the sort of stuff that you guys are going to do. So good luck with it.
Thank you very much. And we'll obviously talk offline. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.